In today's video, I'm going to show you a transfer method that I use all the time in FM23. It's something that worked in FM22 and probably before that as well. I call it the auction method. The name is pretty self-explanatory. It's all about trying to get an auction going for your player and hopefully maximizing the amount that you can sell them for, because it can be frustrating, can't it, right? When you're trying to sell a player and the AI just won't give you as much money as you think they are worth, as much as you think you can sell them for. Well, with this method, usually you can get a little bit more, sometimes even above that transfer value. I've managed to gather together some really good clips showcasing how I've done this in various different saves. So hopefully you can go and use it in your own saves and make the money that you deserve. Let's get into it. And welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a video that's not a DOF video. If you are a long-time viewer, you'll remember when we did other videos. If you've joined since the DOF videos, welcome to a video where we do other things using FM. It feels good to be back doing something slightly different. The DOF save will continue though, don't worry about that. We're going to get Almeria to its natural conclusion for sure. But today, I'm going to share with you one of my transfer methods that I use all the time over on Twitch, in the YouTube save, in the Almeria save even. I've been using this method behind the scenes to try and get decent money for the players that I sell. I call it the auction method, and I've jumped into a save here to hopefully showcase it to you, but I've also managed to get some really good footage of using it in various different saves, including the Spurs save actually, in the DOF save there. And hopefully that will convince you that it's useful and hopefully teach you how you can use it in your saves to make as much money as possible, because it is frustrating, isn't it, trying to get good money out of the AI. Right, jumping into this save, this is an old save file in the Worcester save. We're in the Vanarama National League back in 2026, so a few seasons ago. It's just an old dead save file right now that we can play around with and hopefully show you how this method could potentially work. I've got my team here. We're a Vanarama National League team, as I mentioned before. So just to show you that this can work in any save that you're doing. It's pretty universal, the auction method, and it's pretty self-explanatory. But if you don't see it in action, you might not see some of the little tiny details that are needed to make sure it works most effectively. So I'm going to show you that by hopefully just picking one player here, and it should work. It works pretty much all the time, and it will work with a player, importantly, that doesn't need to be wanted by other clubs, because some transfer methods, you need that wanted. You need them to be wanted by other teams, which is frustrating if they're not. Getting rid of players that aren't wanted by other teams is more difficult to do, especially to try and get good money for them. I'm going to choose Stephen Duke McKenna, who is not wanted by anybody else. He's got decent value for the Vanarama National League at 40k to 130k. And we're going to offer him out. He's on actually quite big wages for this league as well. I'm going to offer him out. He might be a player that you're looking to get rid of to maybe strengthen your team. And the way that I'm going to start this is by offering him out at the lower end of his transfer value, but still within his value. Something that you can, if you sell a player for within their value, you're usually pretty happy. If you can push it up closer to the top end of this transfer range, even better, right? I'm going to offer him out though for 40k to start with, and I'm going to transfer list him and offer him out. This is where the method begins. And before we get into the rest of it, I want you to promise, and you need to promise this now if you're going to watch the rest of this video. If you find it useful, you have to promise to subscribe to the channel. I don't make the rules. You kind of have to just do that. So watch on. If you find it useful, you have to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Let's see if it works by continuing one day from here and seeing if hopefully we get a bid for him, because it would be annoying. All right, we do. Good. We've actually, this is perfect, because we've not only got one bid for Stephen Duke McKenna, we've got two. And from this point, you can make the auction begin. It's a bit like bargain hunt. We now want to get these AI clubs to completely lose their minds and play off one another and be in a bit of competition and try to fight over signing Stephen Duke McKenna. 40k was the original bid, and the way that you get this auction going is to accept one of them. I'm just going to go with Oxford because they are right at the top there, and rejecting the other one. Very important that you do reject the other one, and then before you continue to get your auction properly going, you now need to offer him out to those clubs all over again, but this time up the price a little bit. And you're hoping that it was Exeter, the other team. You're hoping that Exeter come in and pay this 45k, and then suddenly you reject the Oxford one, and they're like, hang on a minute, what? We need to bid more now. And you just keep doing this, and this price will just keep going up and up and up, and hopefully you can sell for a really decent amount of money. I'm going to offer him out for 45k and lock that in, and also make sure he's transfer listed. And now I'm hoping that if this is working, Exeter we'll come back with a £45,000 bid, and we leave this 40k one going because that's now the minimum. And if they don't come back with another bid, at least we're going to sell him to Oxford for this amount of money. Is it all making sense so far? Hopefully it is. It is self-explanatory. It might be something you do in your saves, but maybe you're not doing exactly every single step, etc. Because here we go. I've continued one day, not even one day actually, one continue, and Exeter are indeed back for 45k, which I can now go and accept. And now what you want to make sure you do is go to your transfer tab, go to the Oxford bid now, the original one, 40k, and now reject this one because you don't want him to go there. You want him to go to the team that is going to be the most money for you. And if I should now, I don't know if this is going to work anymore, and I've got some good footage of it working with bigger players so that you can see how much money you can make from this method. I'll roll that after this one. Hopefully, if we go to 50, let's chance our luck and see if we can get this one to go up to 50 as well. We've already increased it a little bit, haven't we? I'm not going to go to that because I don't need to right now. Will Oxford, the original team, come back in with a bid of £50,000? There you go. They do. £50,000. We've made 10k from the start. And this shouldn't stop now because you should hope that Exeter want to come back in once again. I'm now going to, if you really want to chance it, but often when you've asked for the exact amount of money, they will reject your negotiations. If you want to chance it, you could, but I would usually just accept this one, go again, once again, back to that lower one now of Exeter's 45, reject that one, do the same process again, offer him out for a little bit more each time, 55k this time, transfer list him, and away we go. Something to note, by the way, just as I show you it right here, it doesn't work as well for me if you start putting things like future installments in and percentages of wages and things like that. It becomes a bit muddied. If you can keep it to purely money terms, it seems to work better for the auction. Just something to bear in mind. I'm going to try it one more time just to see if they come back in with that 50. Was it, how much was it this time? 55k. And there you do, look. We've now moved it from 40, 45 to 50 to 55. And this could just continue for a long time. You might be thinking, well, maybe they would have offered that originally. Maybe they would have done. But I've proved, and I've done this many times, and it does seem to get better results just starting low and working your way up to the top, because they really do seem to compete with one another to make the signing. This is generally the method. Any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to roll you some footage now of it in action whilst I go and sign players, or sell players for Spurs, I should say, in the DOF save. Enjoy this footage and let me know any questions that you might have in the comments down below. thank you very much for watching today. I hope you enjoy this. I hope it's really helpful for you. Have a lovely rest of your day. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.